Oh, he's here. He's the strangler.
Kick his ass.
We've all seen these group versus one games that are usually set in a horror genre where players must complete tasks in order to escape an enemy, right? I'm sure you're all aware. But developer Elastic Games is aiming to mix up the genre and give fans something different. And although they introduce some really neat mechanics, they are missing the meat of the content that will leave players feeling really hungry. I'm Victor Aparicio, and this is Noisy Pixel's review for last year, The Nightmare.
Can I skip this part or is it loading?
Okay.
No,
You have to watch this every round.
Okay. Now next, you gotta.
The premise is simple. A group of 5 cliche horror high schoolers are being chased by a psycho killer and must work together to get through a series of obstacles in order to escape. Each character can choose from a set of classes that are needed for the entire party to survive the ordeal. This requires a large amount of teamwork during matches, which I enjoy, when I was on a competent team, that is. Those who do attempt to go off on their own will usually be met with a quick end at the hands of the killer. And the killer, of course, is played by a 6th player who will stop at nothing to put an end to the teens. As the killer, players will have the option of 3 classes to choose from, each of which have different skills but also share the ability to lay down traps and respawn at will. There is a lack of direction when it comes to being the killer, which requires multiple matches to understand how each class controls. However, being the killer isn't always easy because of the dice roll when voting in the lobby, so it might take some time before you get your chance. The game's one survival mode is entertaining, but it's definitely not enough for this game to stand out in the stream of other games like it. With that said, the developers have a great presentation of sound and design that plays well against the horror cliche backdrop of the levels. Sadly, last year The Nightmare doesn't reward players nearly enough for accomplishing these goals, and it shows prominently when the player doesn't receive experience or cosmetic loot after the match is complete. I felt the matches should be made easier for players who utilize teamwork more, such as using the technician to repair the lift or requiring the assault class to bust down a door. No matter how fun last year The Nightmare can be in the moment, it just falls short with the lack of content it presents. After a few hours, I feel like I've seen all there is to see, and I don't see myself going back unless there are player goals I am able to reach. This is where last year The Nightmare needs to improve on its unique gameplay loop of feeling only a little empowered while fighting off and escaping from an overpowered enemy. As interesting as it is for the genre, in the end, it might be overshadowed. Noisy Pixel is giving last year, The Nightmare, a 6.4 out of 10. For more of our coverage on the horror genre, check out noisypixel.net. There, you can check out our pieces on SON, as well as a live playthrough of Unreal PT here on YouTube.
Okay.
It gets more complicated than this. I promise.